superiors testify at police hearing.
The Mamaroneck town tax hike of 9.3% is proposed.
Residents react to the presentation on the garbage transfer station.
Rothamn revaluation moves ahead.
And changes are on the horizon for the MHS Junior Prom. Those stories and more right here on this edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
Hello and welcome to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Sven Oehme.
And I'm Alyssha Miro. Our top story?
In the case of Mamaroneck Village Officer Jeremy Skian, the first hearing with Justice James Arcoy took place just before Thanksgiving. During the session, two of Skian's superiors gave testimony. Sergeant James Gaffney was the first to testify. Skian had accused him of ordering an illegal arrest of a 17-year-old girl for drunken driving. Skian has made the accusation that Gaffney ordered another member of the police force to arrest the 17-year-old girl without probable cause. Furthermore, Skian charged that Gaffney then falsified reports indicating that he had detected a strong odor of alcohol. Gaffney admitted that no field sobriety, breathalyzer or blood tests were conducted, but that he was under the impression that the driver was drunk due to a number of factors that he had observed. One of those factors included an opened 40-ounce bottle of beer found in the vehicle. And in addition, he said that the girl was nodding when he asked whether she had been drinking. The hearings continue in Mamaroneck Village.
The battle to create a 1% sales tax hike versus an inflated property tax may be over. Westchester's mayors and supervisors have agreed to back County Executive Andy Spano's proposal to raise the sales tax 1 point in exchange for up to 25% of the money the higher tax would earn. The decision came on December 3rd. The Executive Committee of the Westchester Municipal Officials Association endorsed the higher tax and will submit the proposal to the full membership on December 11th. The group represents all 45 towns, villages, and cities in the county. The deal would earn the towns and villages and the cities of Rye and Peekskill about $18 million next year and about $26 million in 2005, according to an article in the Journal News. Even if the state Senate and Assembly fast-tracked its approval of the sales tax hike, the county will not be able to begin collecting it before March 1st. The higher tax would not be collected in Yonkers, Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, and White Plains, but these four cities would not receive a cut of the tax increase either.
The Rothamn revaluation is moving ahead, and with the details we go to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
Welcome to the Real Estate Corner. The question of revaluation has been on the minds of property owners throughout the county for several years. Executive Director Andy Spano vowed to have the process begun during his tenure. In the areas of Port Chester, Rybrook, and portions of Mamaroneck, Rothamn will be gathering data in order to establish a current value of each residence and business. This is the first time in 37 years that Rothamn has decided to reassess the property within its borders. Letters will be sent out to all property owners in order for them to agree or disagree with the description of their property. For example, if the letter states you have 5 bedrooms and 5 baths, and you have 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, you must inform the town. Your property includes the size of the garage. The reassessment process is being conducted by MJW Consulting of Flushing, Queens, that's in New York City. The process will cost $1 million, which includes aerial photos taken to find decks, swimming pools, and home additions not reported to Town Hall. Each of these additions rises the value of your home. The MJW company has photos from public sidewalks, the aerial views, and the town records that describe your residence, including building permits. So far, the interiors of the homes have not been inspected. You can have an inspector come to your home if the data sheet does not match the reality of your home, residential property, or your business. Residential properties now contribute 58% of the tax revenue in Rye Town. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Glenna Gray.
Parking at Harbor Island and a possible relocation of the tennis courts was recently debated. Here is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel with all the details.
A meeting of the Harbor Island Master Plan Committee was held on November 19th to discuss adding parking spaces for trailers used by fishermen and boaters. A proposal had been issued to add 5 spaces for the trailers. According to Mayor Phil Trifoletti, the main question regarding this issue was whether the parking spaces should be added for the hitch trailers that are used to bring boats into the harbor, or if there should be limited parking to allow for another athletic field. Presently, the boaters bring their crafts to the harbor on the trailers and then park them in regular-sized spaces, leaving a demand for bigger spaces. Steve Leicht, the chairman of the Harbor Island Master Plan Committee, stated that the committee came up with a plan that would allow for 5 trailer spaces, that an agreement had been reached so that some of the spaces could be assigned as trailer spaces for the spring and fall. He said that the plan currently indicates a 28% reduction in total parking spaces and the addition of a new athletic field. Officials have claimed that the other fields are being used too much and that they need to be upheld. The new field would allow for the others to be used less in order to be preserved and maintained better. Sport Time, who operate the tennis courts in the harbor, would be moved to an area near the water treatment plant where it could remain at its current size in order to make room for the new field. The next meeting of the Harbor Island Master Plan Committee will be on January 14th. During the next several weeks, the committee, AKRF, Incorporated, and IQ Landscape Architects will work on the proposal, and then they will give the proposal to the village board to approve. The final presentation will be ready for the meeting in January. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Amy Schachtel.
On Wednesday, November 19th at the Mamaroneck Town Board meeting, a revised environmental study for a Madison Street apartment project was accepted. Just last June, developer Forest City Daily proposed building a 7-story, 185-unit rental apartment building on Madison Avenue. After a number of scoping and working sessions, the board rejected the initial draft of the Environmental Impact Statement, or DEIS, submitted by the developer. The developer submitted a revised draft, and on the 19th, the board voted unanimously to accept the second draft. The board will now go to the public for further review. The board also accepted a Forest City Daily amended petition for a zoning change. This petition will be forwarded to the Town Planning Board for review. Forest City Daily will now present the town with additional copies of the DEIS, which will be sent to bordering municipalities and be available for review in the Larchmont and Mamaroneck libraries. Additional copies will also be available in the office of the Mamaroneck Town Clerk and Town Administrator. Town residents are urged to participate in this decision-making process by reading the DEIS and sending letters or emails to the board, and by participating in public hearings that will be scheduled after the holiday season at the January 7th meeting. If you'd like to get involved in local politics and have your opinion heard, consider attending a future Mamaroneck Town Board meeting where the following topics will be addressed. Wednesday, December 17th, the public hearing on mechanical rock removal, and Wednesday, January 7th, the public hearings on Madison Street development.
In the town of Mamaroneck are projected to go up by 9.3% under a tentative budget for next year. The budget projects a 7.4% increase of spending to a total of $24.3 million. For a house assessed at $20,000, the average tax bill would increase by $351 to $4,110. This is for residents in the town. For those residing in Larchmont and Mamaroneck villages, the rate would increase by $1.10 to $15.25 per $1,000 of assessed property value. For a house valued at $20,000 within the villages, the average tax bill would increase by 22% to $305. As in other communities, much higher contributions in the employee retirement system, liability, hospitalization insurance costs, and salary raises account for 67% of the increase in the budget. The budget was presented at the town board meeting on December 3rd and will obviously go through some changes as the discussion continues. However, there's no question that the budget is going to go up significantly in the town of Mamaroneck too, as in many other communities in our area.
More than 30 Mamaroneck Village residents showed up for a presentation on how to decrease odors and noises coming from the Suburban Carting Corporation's garbage transfer station on November 17th. The proposed solutions include installing 5 large fans on the roof to carry the odors high in the air and a carbon odor absorber and filtration system. Acoustic tiles inside the building and along the engine of a garbage loader would reduce sounds, while plastic curtains around the station doorways would prevent smells from wafting out of the building. The recommendations, which would cost just over $325,000 to install, were based on a report compiled by an engineering firm, odor control specialists, and an acoustic systems company. The village hired the companies, and Suburban Carting paid $80,000 for the report as part of a settlement last year with the village. Information in the Times, a Gannett publication, indicated that the village board had more questions on the air quality and would review the proposal again and vote on it. The State Department of Environmental Conservation approved of the plan, but suggested minor revisions to reevaluate the garbage weighing scale for odor problems and retesting noise levels at DEC standards. Many residents weren't pleased with what they heard and are upset that the companies did not test the air for pathogens or other airborne particles. Since the spring, the village issued 5 violations for smell and odor problems, 3 violations for dumping, and 2 pending village court summons for odor violations and storing equipment outdoors. Zoning Board Chairman Maura Gabrielle said they would continue discussions in December.
Larchmont Mamaroneck community news reporter Amy Schachtel shares the sad news of the recent passing of the founder of the Mamaroneck Ambulance Corps, Mr. John Quadrini.
Sadly, we have lost John Quadrini, Jr., a founding member of the Mamaroneck Emergency Medical Services and volunteer firefighter. Mr. Quadrini was a dedicated citizen of our community. He founded the Mamaroneck Emergency Medical Services in 1962, and in 1993, he was honored by having the headquarters at North Barry and Mamaroneck Avenue named for him. Quadrini served from 1959 to 1995 as a volunteer firefighter, also an active member of the Red Cross, Rotary Club, and the Mamaroneck Larchmont Old Timers. Mr. Quadrini purchased the town's first ambulance in a most unique way. It was a Cadillac, which cost $12,500, but he paid for it with trading stamps. 7,521 books of them, to be exact. He often joked, "I still taste the glue." Quadrini was 84 years old and is survived by his 5 siblings, 6 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. His wife Lucille died in 1966. If you would like to honor John Quadrini's memory in the form of a donation, this can be done. Please send your donation to the Mamaroneck Emergency Medical Services at 200 North Barry Avenue Extension, Mamaroneck, New York, 10543. Godspeed, John Quadrini.
There's good news for residents of the Rhineck portion of Mamaroneck that is located in Rye Town. Rye Town's budget is supposed to be decreased by 1.2%. For homeowners, this would result in a 1.5% decrease in their property tax. Rye Town Supervisor Robert Morbito told the Journal News that the budget remains low because the town does not provide the big essential services like the police, fire, or sanitation departments. The budget in Rye Town must be adopted by December 18th.
Well, if it's December 9th and you're watching this program, you're not too late. Village of Mamaroneck residents have an opportunity to vote on the library budget for the fiscal year 2004-2005 and to elect 4 library trustees. The vote is held from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. on December 9th at the library at 136 Prospect Avenue in Mamaroneck. Absentee ballots are available by calling Mary Soto at 698-1250, extension 31. The proposed 2004-2005 budget calls for an 11.7% increase. This jump is due almost entirely to a projected increase in what the library will be obligated to pay in New York State retirement. The projected tax rate for each thousand of taxable value is $17.02. This will mean an increase of about $28.48 for the average household. This increase will allow the library to maintain services such as holding 10 story hours each week for children, purchasing books in a variety of formats, including audio tape and CD, providing internet access and word processing for those who do not have computers, purchasing the latest DVDs and videos, providing after-school homework help for grade school children, and having enough staff to manage the incredible surge in the number of people using the library, up 38% in 3 years. The people who are running for library trustee are Judith Dupree, Marcy Block, Gladstein, and Henry Paracini, and Jefferson Megan. Don't forget to get out there and vote.
Mamaroneck Town has advised town residents that the organic waste collection program that ended on October 15th will resume in April of 2004. This week is the last week of leaf collection in the town of Mamaroneck. It will end on December 15th. The leaves should be placed in piles on the curb, but not in the street. For collection, branches, logs, or trash should not be mixed with the leaves. Additional information on the leaf collection and on any other town matters can be found on the new website of the Mamaroneck Town. You can go to www.townofmamaroneck.org.
Well, there's been talk about changing the MHS Junior Prom. Here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter and MHS student Caitlin Fahey with the latest.
This year's Junior Prom will be held on May 14, 2004 at the Marriott Westchester in Tarrytown. The location of the prom has changed from its previous location at the Renaissance Westchester Hotel. However, that is a minor change compared to the transportation and after-party changes. There is now a mandatory bus and school organized after-prom party. Students will not be allowed to leave the prom by limousine. Those students who choose not to go to the after-party will have to be picked up by their parents. The after-party is being planned by a group of parents not directly affiliated with the PTSA who are working with the junior class advisor, Aaron Ziegel. The price of the prom is expected to cost $100, including the busing and the after-party. This is a major cut from the cost of the limo and after-party expenses from previous years. Hopefully there will be a positive reaction to all of the new changes. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Caitlin Fahey.
And that's it for this week's edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
You can watch, if you want to see this show again, you can. It's on every weekday night at 7 p.m. We record one show each week, and it's replayed on this channel, LMC-TV, channel 75.
Or if you want to request to see it, you can call LMC-TV after 4 in the afternoon during the week at 698-6808 and ask to see the new show. They'll try to put it on at a time that's convenient for you to watch.
And this reminder, this news program is an all-volunteer effort, and we could use a few more volunteers, either behind the scenes or as a reporter, or maybe you'd like to shoot video. And whatever the case, we need you.
In short, if you want to volunteer to help us put this program on, we have something for you to do. Stop by some Thursday night in the LMC-TV studios and see how we do what we do.
The LMC-TV studios are on the Mamaroneck High School, the Palmer Avenue side, just up the stairs across from the landmark Walter's hot dog stand. And we get things started around 7 p.m. and we would love to see you.
Also, if you have any comments or suggestions or some video of an event that you'd like us to put on this new show, bring it to the studio or write to us at Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News in care of LMC-TV, 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, New York, 10543.
Thanks again for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Sven Oehme.
And I'm Alyssha Miro. And don't forget to mark your calendars for the LMC-TV holiday party on Thursday, December 18th at the Emmeline Theater. The evening begins at 7 p.m.
welcome to our holiday round table. You're going to meet in the free conversation, nothing staged, Amy Schachtel and Laura Smith. You know these ladies because they are volunteers here at LMC-TV with the news. For 15 years, we have been bringing you the news. Amy, tell us something about yourself.
Well, first of all, I haven't been here 15 years. I've
No.
been here 5 years.
5 years, but the
Yes.
news has been here.
I know, and I have fun doing this, and I wouldn't stop doing this. I have a great time with all of you. This is just something, as I've said in other roundtable discussions before, that I enjoy doing. I get a big kick out of it. It's great working with all of you. And I enjoy finding out about what's going on locally in the community
Oh, great.
and meeting people. And I've gotten to meet and know Laura.
Laura.
And it's been my pleasure as well. This has been wonderful for me. I've been here 5 months.
Wow.
Good, good.
I
Welcome.
picked up the phone one day and I said, I heard you can volunteer at LMC-TV. I'm in radio. I've been in broadcasting for 7 years, but I've never done television. And I said, well, heck, there's a station right across the street from my house. How easy does it get? And I got to come over and meet Jeff and all of you, and it's just been wonderful. I've really enjoyed it. What a great opportunity this community has. Anyone can do it. Anyone can volunteer. Everyone's welcome. You don't have to have experience or be in broadcasting. You
Well,
Right.
Laura, had you seen the show before?
Oh, of course.
And did you always hear at the end of every show, they ask for the volunteers, always come by. We get things started around 7 o'clock, and we'd love to see you. And
Yes.
there you were.
And they give the directions right across the street from Walter's Hot Dogs, so I knew exactly where it was.
World famous Walters.
That's right. That's
My
right.
favorite line, whenever I get the opportunity to anchor, and we have our little speech at the end, I say, can I have the Walter's hot dog line, please? You've anchored, haven't you?
Once, actually, somebody didn't show up at the very last minute, sort of the proverbial, you know, how you make it story. And I happened to be standing in there, and they said, we need somebody, get on. And so I did it, and, well, it was fun for me. I don't know how it was for to watch it, but it was a lot of fun.
And you've anchored so many times.
No, not really.
No?
I've anchored a couple of times because I've had my own show.
Yes.
And then I've been on the news and I said, my goodness, who wants to see me anchoring? And then see my show that all day long they'll just be seeing Glenna Gray. So I said, no, I've never sought the anchoring chair at all.
Glenna, what I know you've done shows rather about the school system up here and local politics. Have you done shows that are more specific of other categories that I don't know about?
Well, I've been on a hiatus, but I've covered everything which impacts on Larchmont Mamaroneck, which means the world.
To you and us.
I can't see just doing shows on Larchmont Mamaroneck because we have fantastic citizens in this community
Yes.
who have had fantastic experiences and who have great impact upon people in these United States of America and therefore upon the world. So to narrow my show to just Larchmont Mamaroneck for me is just too narrowing. So I try to reach the world because the world is shrinking more and more. But tell me now, what aspects, because when I first came here, I thought I wanted to be a director until I saw the board and I said, oh no, that's not for me. Have you tried the board?
I haven't. I do that in my business. I work in radio and I have to work controls all the time. This time I just wanted to sit and talk.
All right, you want to be in the front of the camera.
I wanted to be in front of
Right.
the camera. I have to admit, I haven't been very adventurous yet. That's as much as but that's the great thing about LMC-TV. However little or much you want to do,
Right.
you're able to explore every aspect. You learn so much. I had no idea, though, that I was going to have to be writing the stories or rewriting them from other sources when we have to do our news report every week. So that was new for me, and that's been a great learning experience as
Have
well.
you ever done the board, Amy?
Little bits, but no, not enough to have done from the technical aspect of it, the production. But I did get involved when I produced a couple of my own shows in production of writing, casting, directing. I even worked cameras a little bit. Two of the other shows that I've done on this network were Kids' Opinion. I work with kids and do another show called Act Naturally. Act Naturally and Kids Opinion are young kids as young as 4 up to, high school age. And one show is a variety show where there's acting, monologues and dialogues, stand-up comedy. We do wacky commercials. Also, I have the kids, if they want to perform, be it singing or dancing or certain kind of talent they do, we'll do that also. But
when does your show air?
Oh, I make about 2 or 3 shows a year, and they run them off and on all the time.
Oh, no specific time.
No,
schedule.
but I think just about like our show goes on LMC, you can call and request to see a show at any time.
Yeah.
So my shows are called Act Naturally, Kids Opinion, and Listen to the Kids. Listen to the Kids is an interesting little production because basically I give the kids an open mic. We do speak about topics prior to going to tape.
Well, are you going to bring some of them to the news? So we'll have the next generation coming up?
Some of them have already voiced an interest in doing that, and I would love to.
Oh,
absolutely.
Great.
My daughter's in the high school, and I said to her, you have the greatest gift. You have a television studio, right, in the midst of your school day. Go check it out. Well, unbeknownst to me, she ended up directing and producing her own show.
Wow.
And I was so amazed because she took it into her hands to hire the volunteers that's available here at LMC-TV. You get a list of all the people you can call. So she got the camera people and the board operators and everything and the director, and she put together this show, and it was really fun. And I think it did a whole lot for her to see something that she produced by herself. There it was on television. She can just flip around and she sees her own show. It was such a great thing. I couldn't believe what an opportunity.
Was she in front of the camera as well?
She was. Then she got on the show. She had a friend with her, and it was great. It was a little bit of music. They taped some people out at Nautilus Diner and asked their opinion about freedom fries and French fries. It was very cute. But what a great opportunity for kids as well.
It is, absolutely. This high school offers such fabulous experiences for all of the children. But of course, my children have long since graduated from this school. But I always encourage children when I see them, even in Sal's, that, what do you do after school? Come here, come do this. And it's also, I'd like the taxpayers to know that this is a wonderful program in the high school, so your taxes are being used well in the Mamaroneck school system.
Oh, I agree.
This is one of the great benefits.
And also the news program of the Mamaroneck High School, that's our producer, Jeff Montanaro, teaches the class of video production and has a lot of his students come and they volunteer to help putting this show together for us every week. Matter of fact, if I kind of look behind the camera on one side, I see Jay. And if you look behind you, yeah, Kate's there. So thanks to Jeff, your teacher, Mr. Montanaro. His production has kids who are coming to work in the studio, just like you say, taking advantage of a terrific opportunity. And who knows who the next directors and writers and producers could all be coming out of this group.
You never know. I mean, you never know what will reach a particular student. And this may be something to open up a student who has been a little lazy, didn't want to do this, didn't want to do that. Then all of a sudden, this can widen the horizons of that student. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful possibility that exists there. Well, I am so glad you ladies came and told the audience about yourselves, because stay tuned, because we're going to be speaking to other people on LMC-TV News. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
We're back with our holiday roundtable. And as you see, I have 2 senior members of our great staff with me. Kate Fahey and Jay Fiddleman. These wonderful students come and volunteer, as you can also volunteer at LMC-TV News on Thursday evenings. These 2 young people are students of our great director, Jeff Montanaro. Now, tell us, Cate, I remember when you came, what made you come to LMC-TV?
Well, last year was my first year taking video at the high school, and Jeff was my teacher, and I had mentioned to him that I was really interested in reporting, and so he encouraged me to come to the news. So he said, dress up, wear whatever you want, or look really nice, and we'll put you on TV. And so I remember getting all dressed up, and my mom and I were picking out outfits, and I came, and they gave me a story, and I read it off the top of my head, and I've been coming ever since, and I've been here for about a year and a month.
I have to ask you a personal question. How old are you?
I am 15. I will be 16 in January.
Notice, I didn't ask the other ladies their age. You're 15. Great. And how old are you?
I'm almost 15. I'm turning 15.
Almost 15.
Well, I'm turning 15 on Monday, so.
Now,
Happy birthday.
what brought you to LMC-TV?
Well, I'm pretty much the exact opposite of Cate. I'm also a student of Jeff's. I've been taking video for 2 years. And he invited me because he knows that I really enjoy the more technical, behind-the-scenes stuff. You know, I don't really enjoy the anchoring thing, but you know, I run camera and the technical stuff.
Do you do any writing?
Not really.
Or you just like the technical?
Yeah, just the technical stuff. I work in the control room with the sound and the camera shots, and also as a cameraman.
Fine. So what you've learned during class time, you can transfer all of that knowledge to LMC-TV News in the evening.
Yes.
So that's a wonderful transfer.
Yeah. We're taking MHS Info, which is, I don't know if any of our viewers watch it, but
tell me what it is.
Our school's morning announcements are done as a closed-circuit television show. And it's a class that you can take to help produce that. And I'm currently the director. You know, we rotate every month.
This is a daily show?
Every day.
How many minutes?
It's 8 minutes long, and we all rotate jobs. So there's a producer, a director, anchors, interviewer, camera people, tech director who does the boards in the control room, sound director, graphics. There's a million different jobs.
And these are the same students in Jeff's class, or can any high school student?
No, what you have to do is you have to take video 1 as either a freshman or whenever you want to take it, and then the next year after you've completed video 1, you can take MHS Info.
MHS Info.
Yes.
Yeah, short for Mamaroneck High School Information.
Oh, I see. And
Yes.
what type of information do you tell?
Well, we usually give club meeting times, sports announcements, when the games are, what happened at the games, who won. We do interviews. We do videos about people's opinions in the school, about what they think of different things. And
Such as?
well, I personally did a video about what people think of the government, the student government.
Oh, student government.
Yeah. Yes. Not the real government. Yeah, and you can do, and there's all other sorts of videos. You can do videos about outside school events such as the Cove, which is another club at the school, and you can do anything. It's a really good class.
Do you have portable cameras? Do you go on the campus and take pictures, or
Yes,
they come to the studio?
Well, we do both because we have cameras that we take out to film things like, I know something that I'm very active in is filming varsity sports, because everyone loves to gather on the TVs after second period and watch the highlights of a varsity basketball game, or you know, the highlights of a varsity football game. And so we go to those games and film them and then take them back to the class and edit them together. And we also have people come into the studio for interviews, kind of like we do here on LMC-TV. So,
How do you decide who you will interview?
well, one of the job rotations is interviewer, and they pick an interview and write the questions. I know Cate's been interviewer quite a few times.
What you do is you try to get as many different sort of things as you possibly can. So maybe one day you'll have a sports coach, and the next day you'll have the president or co-founders of a new club coming to the school, and that you want to get out to the school, and people will get involved in that club. Or you can do something that someone's accomplished, such as a musical instrument or anything. You try to make it a really big variety, make it really interesting, inform people about what you're talking about.
All of the interviews are students or adults?
No, you can sometimes you can interview coaches or teachers. We interviewed a teacher that was new to the school, and we've done basketball coaches and gym teachers and everything.
Right.
The principal?
Yeah, we've had the principal and assistant principals on many different times, not really to be interviewed, but, you know, they make announcements every so often and, you know, address the student body. And they actually sometimes do it not within the boundaries of our 8-minute show. Like, I remember at the end of last year, our principal came on in the middle of the afternoon and made an announcement over the PA system for everyone to turn on their TVs and listen to his announcement.
Oh, there's a TV in each classroom?
Yes, they make sure that everybody in the school is able to watch info every day. So even if you have a free period and you're in the library, they have TVs all around the library, so you can still watch the
So that's where
show.
my tax money is going. I'm always glad to know where my tax money is going. Have you ever interviewed the dietitian? I don't know why people always seem to forget the dietitian in a school environment, and that's a very important person.
I don't think we have.
In the lunchroom, you mean?
The dietitian, yes, the one who feeds you.
Well, we
I
actually,
think, yeah, go on.
we've done videos on the lunchroom and like what they serve and on meeting all the cafeteria staff. I don't know if that qualifies as dietitian, but
Well, you have a dietitian, I'm sure.
I don't know.
I don't.
If we do, it's probably more
You
behind the
have
scenes.
one. Believe me, in a school of this size, there is a professional dietitian.
Yeah. Well, actually, I know we have an athletic trainer who I think is knowledgeable about nutrition and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we have lots of health teachers,
So
too.
now you have a homework assignment. Find out who's your dietitian.
Yes, more homework.
Just what I needed.
You said, what about a nurse? Does the high school have a nurse?
Yes.
Have you interviewed the nurse?
Yeah, we did last year a interview and a story about a new medical device that the school must have. It's a New York State law, so we had to interview the nurse about
What was
that.
the instrument?
They're the
AEDs?
yeah,
or?
automated external
Yeah.
defibrillators.
A defibrillator.
The little things that go like clear.
Yeah.
Yes,
they're all over the school
It's
now.
amazing. I couldn't believe when they were putting out defibrillators, and when they first came out, only the professionals could touch them.
Yeah.
But
Now
they've
sports
saved many
coaches
people's
have them.
lives. Yes.
There's a really like, it's like really high tech, the one right outside the gym. It's got like this computer screen and all these buttons, and it talks you. It actually has a little voice that talks, and it talks you through the process of trying to revive someone.
Yes, yes, they're very important.
Yeah.
So now you have someone else to interview. Does a doctor ever come to the school?
Yeah. Well, at the beginning of each sports season, they have a doctor come in to give physicals to anyone who's interested in playing a sport but doesn't have an active physical from an outside doctor. So, but the doctor isn't
And
really
it's
on
free.
staff. Yeah, it's free.
That's
the doctor
why.
isn't on staff. They just come in now and then.
So maybe in September you'd like to interview him or her.
Yes.
Yeah,
They usually come 3 times a year, once in the
three
fall,
times a year.
once in the winter, and once in the spring, right before the sports season starts, so that everyone who is going to play a sport is able to get their forms in so that they are eligible to play.
Do you have siblings in the high school?
Yes. I have a brother.
You have a brother and
Well, I have a younger brother and sister, but neither of them are in the high school yet. My sister Rachel is in 8th grade this year, so she'll be in the high school next year. And my little brother Danny, he's in elementary school still. So.
Yeah, I have a sister, Erin, who's in 6th grade. She's at the Homics, and my brother TJ is in 9th grade, and we see each other all the time. We have the same fray, and we're always in the library. And
oh, you see him all the time.
Yeah.
And you speak to each other?
well, I wouldn't go that far, but
I don't speak to my sister.
Things haven't changed. I would never speak to my brother if I saw him in school.
we usually say hi to each other, maybe occasionally, on very few occasions, wave to each other,
Yeah.
and then go our separate ways. But
I know last year when my sister and I were both in the Homics, when I passed her in the halls, 2 years ago, right, I would just like grunt at her like, hey.
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing has
that's what my brother
changed.
does to me, and I'm like, hi.
Nothing has really changed. The more things change, the more they remain the same.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you two young people for coming on. I always enjoy your presence at LMC-TV
you.
News on
Thank you.
Thursdays.
We enjoy
And I
yours, too.
always make sure you get home in time to do your homework.
Yes.
All right? We'll be back with some other wonderful staff members here at LMC-TV. We're back with our veterans, Christina and Alyssha. I'm sure you recognize these two ladies. They have given hours of their time to LMC-TV and to the news show in particular. Now that you ladies are veterans,
I wonder how many years qualifies you as a veteran.
Yeah, how many years is that?
have you found any particular niche that you like better than any other since you've been here? How long have you been here?
I've been here since '93, off and on, health permitting. Yeah, and I like it all. Reporting, writing stories, anchoring. You know what I like most? I really enjoyed going out in the street and doing the question of the week.
I remember those
that was
segments,
fun.
yeah.
Yes.
That was
The beat
fun.
on the street.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. And what do you like best, Alyssha?
Well, I think I was, it wasn't 93, but I believe I was here 9 years ago. I think it's been 9 years. And, you know, when I came here, I remember the first time, they just threw me on the teleprompter, here, go for it, see how this works. And I was so nervous, listening to the anchors and trying to keep up with them on the machine. And then I got comfortable with that, and I used to do teleprompter, and then someone was out sick, so I was a reporter. They had a story that I was able to summarize in my own words and then put on air, and then I started to do that every week. And then our regular anchor took a job somewhere else, and well, this isn't paid, this is volunteer, of course, but it's something that took them out of the community. And all of a sudden they needed someone to fill in at the anchor desk, and then that was it.
There you were.
I started doing that.
I believe you followed a lady that went on and became a professional.
Yes, she was
reporter.
very into the broadcasting
became
field. She
a
had studied that in
professional.
college.
Yes.
I hadn't. I was interested in the field, and I wondered
Right.
how
But you were a
television news
natural.
was produced. Oh, that's
You
very
were a
sweet.
natural. When you first came, I
That's
said,
very
oh, she's a natural. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my nickname for Christina is Lady Fergie.
Fergie.
That's my nickname for her.
It's funny because there are some people in the community, some of the merchants, and they say, "Oh, Fergie, we saw you, last night," and there was someone else in the grocery store and said, "I know you you're on LMC. My husband and I just love watching the show," and we say, "Oh, look, come on, Fergie's on, Fergie's on." So we have our own Fergie reporter. So I said, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate the compliment." But so people are watching.
I know, that's always nice when
Yes,
somebody,
yes.
they look at you funny or they recognize you and say, I know you from somewhere. So
Right.
people just come out and say it. And that's really nice. It lets us know that there's an audience out there, people who are interested in, the very, very local news and what's going on right here in Larchmont, Mamaroneck.
Well, it's the only place you can get the
The
really
local news.
local news. I don't
Yeah.
think I have found the local news in the New York Times.
No, no. My mom lives in Charlotte, and she was saying, it's statistically, they find that people watch, if there's a local station for people to watch, they find that they watch that more than they watch the national news because they want to hear about what's going on in their community, and you can't always get that
It
in every
impacts-
community. So we're very fortunate, and also what's been enjoyable for me is to get to know the people in our community, the merchants, the people that have new businesses, who they are, where they're from, how they came here and
Where
started.
did you come from?
Well, I was born in Massachusetts, so I'm a New England girl, and moved to Manhattan. I was doing some modeling and going to acting school for commercial acting, and then came here. And then I went to took a couple of courses at NYU for broadcasting, so here I am.
Yeah, and where are you from, Alyssha?
I'm from just across the Hudson. I grew up in Rockland County, and I moved over here so that I could work in Manhattan. And of course, now I work in Westchester County, which is nice, a nice short commute. And again, I joined the news team because I was flipping, doing a little channel surfing, and at the end of every program, we always ask for volunteers. We still do. We still need volunteers.
Always need volunteers.
Always.
7 o'clock on a Thursday night. 7 or even 8 o'clock is fine too on most Thursday nights right here in the studio in the back of the Mamaroneck High School. And you know, like I said, I just showed up. I was curious about broadcasting. I hadn't majored in it in college at all. And
But you were natural.
Yes.
thank you.
are
But you know, and
natural.
it wasn't. You know, I decided I didn't want to go into the field of broadcasting because what I really enjoyed about being a part of the news program was, like Christina said, just getting in touch with my community.
Right.
I know what's happening. You know, I've met a lot of the people in town, supervisors, mayors, you know, council people, and gotten to know them and seen what the issues are. And it's just amazing the politics
Yeah,
involved
it's-
in such, you know, a
yeah.
small community. We're not even a huge, huge city,
Right, all
but there's so many
politics
things
is
happening.
local.
And we too.
As Tip said, all politics is local.
Construction,
I became-
sewage tanks,
right,
parks.
It's the same thing, just
Yeah.
magnified.
Right.
I got involved because I had retired, and retirement was killing me. I
A little bored, were you?
retirement was killing me. I became a couch potato. I said, oh, I'm retired. I can
Time
just
to relax.
right,
Yeah.
and got this thing, you know.
Clicker.
Yeah.
Remote.
And after a year, I said, no, I can't do this. And I saw the ad in the newspaper. Volunteers come to LMC-TV on a Thursday night. I said, oh, this sounds interesting.
No experience necessary.
No,
That is true.
Right.
People should know that when they
Yeah,
come, they'll get
you don't have to have
on-the-job
any-
training.
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
But I never attended school for broadcasting or television, but I was a teacher. And when you're a teacher, you are an actress at all times. And you're
those kids
speaking
entertained.
at all times. So I had training in speaking.
Absolutely.
And when you have to give plays, so as a teacher, you are prepared to be a broadcaster, whether TV or radio, as the other ladies have. Now, do you think that you would like to change anything on LMC-TV, the news? Do we need anything now that we're in the 21st century?
Well, I mean, again, I'd have to put out the plea for volunteers.
Right.
I think that's one thing I'd always like to change. You know,
Yeah.
we're very comfortable. You know, we all know each other. We've been,
Right.
many of us have been around for a couple of years, and we have some, you know, some newcomers, some students, which is really wonderful.
Yeah, that's been great.
But it'd be great to get some more people involved in the community. I'd like to see that change, to see more people, you know, coming through the door and being interested in, you know, whether it's they want to pursue a career in broadcasting or not, because several people who have come here just to volunteer
Right.
have gone on to successful careers.
Right.
We had our weatherman for a while who
was
went
just gonna
on to
mention,
become,
yeah, he's in
now he's one of the
Florida
top
now.
markets in Florida,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Another, a young lady who was an anchor is also now
Right.
an anchor woman, you know, for her regular paid position.
Oh, she's in Germany,
So it's a
or
great-
I don't know if she's
Yeah.
still in Germany.
That's another. That's
another
another.
one. That's
anchor.
another
yet
one.
another
Right,
person
right.
who
Yeah.
There's a
was doing
couple that
reporting
have-
and then anchored,
Yeah.
and then went on to, you know, pursue
I
that
would
career.
like to see a change so that we can have more cameras. Is there anyone out there who would like to donate more cameras to LMC-TV? I would be delighted to accept it because I love the same thing you love, going out
Yeah,
on the street.
right.
But sometimes when I
Right.
wanted to go out,
Need a camera.
They
you have
needed
to,
another
you have to try to get a
camera,
camera,
and there weren't
it's-
enough
there's not one
cameras.
available, and
right. So if anyone would like to help us at LMC-TV,
and you have a camera.
right,
You know what I'd like?
698-6808.
You know what I'd like to see is, you know, like we had before, a weatherman. I'd like to have. We don't really have any men, or well, a woman could come in as well and do, you know, the weather if you have an interest in that, and
Almost like
and
a
or-
feeter reporter or
Yeah,
a segment
exactly.
reporter, someone who focuses their story
Yeah.
specifically on school-related topics, someone who covers, you know, we used to have a student who loved sports, someone
Oh,
who
he
was a
was
sports
wonderful.
sports,
He was
weather, yeah.
someone who
wonderful.
came in to cover sports, someone used to do movie reviews or restaurant reviews. I know we've done in the
Right.
past.
And then we had a lady who used to give beauty tips. And then we had a gentleman finances.
I think
so
the-
we
right.
had different slots.
Some
But I think the bottom
specialty.
line is that, you know, there's something for everyone,
Right.
anyone that would like to do something. And if you have a special gift, a special talent, a special interest,
Come in and share it.
The
with
door
us.
is
Come
open.
in and share it with
Come
us.
out and share it with LMC-TV. We are here looking forward to meeting with you. Our phone number is 698-6808.
and we're here Thursday.
And we hope that you have a wonderful time during the holidays. Happy Hanukkah. You can write to us at 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, New York,
10543.
10543.
And we're located just up the stairs from the
Famous landmark Walter's Hot Dog Stand,
Right.
the back of Mamaroneck High School.
Palmer
Great.
Avenue side.
Great.
Right.
Happy
Yeah.
Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Feliz Navidad. Until we see you again, stay positive.
Happy
Thank you, ladies.
holidays.
You were wonderful.